Good morning, everyone. We have a wonderful guest today, Medha Anand. She is Sociology topper this year, and she got 13th rank in UPSC 2024. I have seen Medha growing from a young, bubbling girl to a mature officer. It gives me immense happiness to see her growing, achieving wonders in life, just like a father feels happy when sees that child is growing strong and achieving miracles in life. Getting into civil service is always a station but not destination. And I know Medha is empathetic, she is committed, devoted, hardworking, sincere, reflexive, critical, and she'll be coming up as a wonderful officer. And when you see that your children are growing taller than you get a sense of accomplishment. And I'm so thankful to her that keeping the best tradition of sociology students of Vajiram, she has come back to her alma mater, addressing to the students, giving them motivation. And when students come back to you, two things primarily take place. One is younger people get to know about the struggle days of the successful candidates and how keeping struggle as the foundation one achieves miracles in life. That stimulate, motivate the youngsters to primarily go for this preparation, facing hardship, they overcome it. And ultimately, not only they achieve their goal, they make their parents happy and make meaningful contribution to society. Second thing is, when a teacher gets a student coming back and achieving success, he never feels old. He feels that he has time, he has energy, he has expertise still left out in him to teach more students for a few more years. So I'm thankful to you, Medha, for
so
coming
much,
back to me.
Thank you, sir.
And, making me more energetic and young.
Thank you so much, sir.
And Medha, tell me, why did you decide to go for civil service?
So actually, once I had a talk with my mother and I was telling her how I need to change the society as a teenager. I had that zeal and all. So she told me that don't give me this lecture and all. If you really want to do something in life, then show it to me, prove it to me. Just don't make big statements and like that. So we had a housemaid and she had some problems at her home. So that's when she told me that you can go for civil services if you really want to prove something. So sir, in class 11, she got me D.D. Basu and she said, can you read this? But that was a difficult book then to understand, to comprehend. So I decided I can't read it. So I went for engineering. Agar sir D.D. Basu samajh aa jati, so I would have gone for some other subject and directly come into civil services. But wo aayi hi nahi samajh, so I went for first engineering and then I came back to this field where I thought that I would do something. So just to make my parents proud and bring some positive change, especially for women.
See, I have seen many toppers, but there are officers and they're doing wonders and you will be one of them, who join civil service not for self-glory. Join civil service to stay dedicated to the cause of the downtrodden sections of the society. You told about the housemaid. So people surrounding us may be very small in stature in comparison to us, offering us services. But directly or indirectly, they influence to our life in a very big way. A single statement made by your mother made you where you are today.
Yes.
So therefore, I'm so happy that, country got a good officer who will be reflecting on the life of others and bring meaningful changes. You had so many optionals available. Why did you opt for sociology?
So initially I thought I'll take civil engineering. I had that love for my subject and also I was doing good in my college days. But thanks to some very good seniors I had in college, they told me that, see, it is a very vast subject and you are new to GS as well. So I thought that there were 18 some books in civil engineering that had to be read for this optional. So I thought I'll change it. And it was in the final year of my college that I decided that I can't take civil engineering. That's way beyond my measures and all. So, sir, I had 2-3 options. There were sociology, anthropology, and geography. But I went through some NCRTs of sociology and I found them really, really interesting. And then I just, in a haphazard way, I just decided that I'll join at Vajiram. And so you made us fall in love with the subject. I always tell this to my friends that sir is the person who made me fall in love with this subject. So I think so that just proved good now because it was a good optional subject to choose.
See, at times I'm surprised when people say that sociology syllabus is very comprehensive. Sociology syllabus to you is just comprehensive or very creative, imaginative, analytical, and you can feel for the subject.
True, sir.
So it's not just, syllabus is short and small. Everybody can relate himself with the syllabus as a boy or as a girl. Or as a person who is doing engineering or medicine. So sociology you can feel, and once you feel the subject, you can do justice to the subject.
True, sir, absolutely.
What is the importance of a good reading for getting a good score in sociology?
Sir, I think with good reading, we are able to delve deeper into the subjects. Because as a layman, society and social issues, they look like very shallow kind of subjects.
Yes.
But when we go through good reading material, they help in letting us understand the diverse viewpoints. So for example, I'll give a point that in the beginning I did not understand कि positivist चाह क्या रहे हैं. Why are they trying to prove something which is not there?
Right.
Non-positivist क्यों उनके पीछे पड़े हैं?
Right,
Something like that. So in the beginning, sir, for 1 month or so, I just did not understand कि हो क्या रहा है because we were used to of doing civil engineering.
Yes.
Formula लगाया, answer आ गया. अब इसमें there were so many viewpoints. Postmodernists कह रहे हैं there is no truth. There is something beyond truth. So, sir, these diversified readings gave me an insight into how reality can be judged in different manners. एक unilateral dimension of reality does not exist. तो वो can be achieved by getting a good read. For example, sir, IGNU, it's a very good reading material. And this I got to know it just in this attempt.
Yes.
It's so simple, so lucid, and
Yes.
it will just explain one line in one whole chapter.
Yes.
The gist can be written in one line, but it will take a whole chapter to explain it very beautifully, taking time, narrating the whole thing.
Yes.
So it's very important, sir, to get a good reading
That's a
material.
very good insight Madam is given. All of you should be primarily taking a note of it. IGNO is written by the professors of the university who have lived their life with the subject. E-Pathshala is also another source material written by the professors, and they also maintain quality and explain things in a very simple manner. Always remember, a good reading always gives you understanding of the subject, and that understanding stays in your head. Through examples they explain in lucid words. So you can get a perspective by reading these books. So never ever think that you can have mastery over a subject, reading it for 2 months, 3 months, or by reading some books which are covering the entire syllabus. So that is not done. So learn from Madam this thing, that good reading can give you a good score.
True, sir.
Okay. I'll ask you a question. How important is the writing practice in getting a good score in sociology?
Sir, answer writing forms a very important part of this whole UPSC journey. And I think in my 5th attempt, thoda sa mujhe iska realization aur hua. So it became more a part of me because I started writing the PYQs. I was reading a lot before that also, but then I was not able to keep it in a 250 word answer. So that was a problem. Now the teacher does not know कि मुझे ये भी आता है. वो मुझे पता है कि मुझे आता है, but I'm not able to put it down in an answer format. I still remember, sir, I came to you after 2000 in my 2020 attempt. So I was so naive. You gave me the question paper and you said कि कितने answer इसमें से लिख लोगी. And I would say I was so naive. I said सर सारे लिख लूँगी. But the point is, लिख तो सब लोगे, but the quality of answers was very, very poor. Now that I look at it from in hindsight, so with answer writing, I got to know that my conclusions were not good. The conclusions had to be some futuristic kind of. For example, अगर work का एक question है, तो in the end I can write something which is in the recent trend कि AI के आने से how it would affect work cultures. So that is the insight I gained by writing the PYQs. So this attempt during my training days, रात के 3-4 बजे, I would start writing PYQs. We had a peer group of friends, and I would just send the answers across, and there would be people at 4 a.m. in the morning checking those answers and giving me comments.
Great.
And they were just not jealous somehow. They were very sweet. They were like, I think you could add this. If you could just add this, it would become better. So the same happens with diagrams. What happens is, since we have one book which covers the entire syllabus, it's a good book to understand the concepts. But then people just blindly write whatever is written in that book in the answers.
Yes.
Not taking care of the fact what has been asked.
Yes.
They just write what they know.
Yes.
ये मुझे आता है.
I'll write.
Take it or leave it, your wish. Like, they leave it to the examiner.
Right.
Ki, this is what I know, rest is up to you. So that's a problematic thing. So sir, usme there are some diagrams. Now you need to at least change the contents of the diagram. If you copy the same diagrams, everybody is copying that same. So that sociology and common sense, it adds to it and it gives its value material. So everybody is making the same diagram in sociology and common sense. This, I think, will definitely irritate the examiner.
Definitely.
He'll be like, why is everybody making the same diagram?
See, the problem is, I have told that in one of my interviews. You know, one has to write answer keeping himself in the position of the examiner. So as a teacher for so many decades, when we evaluate the scripts, if we look into content same, paragraph same, explanation same, language same, we know that a student has copied from somewhere. Either he is being tutored or he is learning information from one text material. Every examiner wants to see the intellectual capability of the student, analytical capacity of the student, how a student is unique. You got 310 marks, not because of anything, but because of your creativity, analytical excellence. And best part of you, let me tell everybody, she doesn't write, she just puts jewels. Her handwriting is so beautiful, it's so amazing. It's a treat to read. Once you develop interest in reading your handwriting, then obviously content you can see. Important points you can see. You will never be miser in giving marks. Sky will be the limit. So therefore manage your hand, and how handwriting becomes good? If you don't write any nonsense. You know what you are going to write, you know how you are going to write, you know how to organize your writing. Because your mind is crystal clear and she is a testimony to it. So therefore I told you, she made us proud. Our contribution is nothing. What she did it herself. Read materials, comprehended it, wrote it for hours together and spent many sleepless nights. So therefore writing plays a very, very significant role in getting a good score in this subject. How sociology helps you in other domains of UPSC preparation?
So first, it diversifies the thought process. For example, there were so many things that you taught us, and it just opened my mind. And I went around, going back to my place at my with my parents, I would just question the basic thing they were doing. Why did you do this? Oh, because you are a man and you are a woman. They got terrified. Where did we send her, and why is she asking so many questions to us?
Many parents tell you spoil our children.
So once you asked how many women out of you will be getting property from your parents' property. So there was this young lady who raised her hand, and you said, you must be the only child. And she was like, yes sir, how did you know? And you were like, I know beta, I have a lot of experience. So these things actually open one's mind, and that helps in UPSC preparation as well. For anything, for example, the sexual fluidity that we have, the LGBT community, everything. For that also we have an open mind now, because we read it that, okay, these things are happening. For any question based out of society, we can be more elaborative on it because we have read a lot of viewpoints, diverse viewpoints, which a student who is just reading GS might not have. Similarly, sir, in essay, it gives a lot of diverse perspective. For example, this time we had something which had both men and women. Ki men are bound by this and women are bound by this. So sociology here will help us in writing the male perspective, because the general perspective is that women are being suppressed, women have a lot of problems, etc., etc. But then the men who are taking a lot of responsibility, who have been the breadwinner for a lot of time,
Right.
they also are struggling and they also have problems in their lives,
Yes.
which is not being addressed. As you told us in class also, that men can't cry.
That's true.
There is a particular thing that is attached to men as well. So that answer became easier because we had some reading of this subject. So even just not in UPSC but in personality development,
Yes.
sociology I think plays a major role. Which
And you think, a few days back, a young officer like you, he's in Assam cadre, he gives me a ring early in the morning. I said, what is the matter? He tells me, sir, I remember your classes because I'm going to address some tribal problems. And those classes I'm able to primarily recall now, that is going to help me out in discussing the topic. So sociology will be much more helpful to you as an officer to be empathetic to the problem of the people. Now tell me, forget about sociology. Now, you had to struggle primarily for so many years. Do you think at any point of time you thought that no, it is becoming so difficult for me, I'll leave it in the middle?
So there were many times I thought like this, but because there are times when one becomes hopeless and it's like I can't do it anymore. Especially, sir, after my 4th attempt, I skipped one attempt because I just wanted to enjoy my training days because I was not able to do either of them. I was reading current affairs back home and then going for training and not enjoying anything. So I thought that this attempt, I'll just leave it out and I'll just enjoy my training days. Sir, apart from that, I had my father. He is a very good listener. So whenever I would just feel so completely hopeless.
Fathers are always good listeners.
So that's the credit goes to our mothers. So I would just ring him up, and for 1 hour, I would just keep on blabbering. Life is so tough. You know what has happened. This guy said this thing. Then there's some misogynist comments around or something, something or the other, and he will always take my side. He will say, I know these people. They're like this. He will also start cribbing about them, not even knowing who they are. So this guy, he has been the backbone. Like my mother gave me that push, but this guy was my backbone. So I would just ring him up any time of the day. During night, I won't care if he is sleeping, he has office next day, I won't care. I would just ring him up and tell him, and then his last thing would be, okay, you do one thing, have a good cup of chai. Chai is something which I, sir, absolutely love. So I tell it to my friends also that in Iritam, where we were having a training, I had 11:55 ka order fixed, 1 aloo paratha and chai. So that would give me enough energy to sustain till 4 in the morning, because after that the mess would be closed and everything. So my orders still have that chai and aloo paratha from the same shop. So these two things were, I think, I would give a lot of credit to chai also, because every time my father would be like, yes, you're absolutely correct. These are hopeless times, and what to do? The nation is going to the dogs.
Yes, your father is the best example in the sense. In a country like ours, where people consider that girls are a form of liability for the family, not only he stood by you, but also he was ready for you always. Because, you need somebody to primarily share your sufferings, pain, frustration, anxiety. A good support from the family always makes you primarily motivated to work hard.
True, sir, absolutely.
So therefore, family support is very important. Therefore, parents should be always considerate and ready to understand their children's demands, their concerns, their problems and issues. If we can do that, children will feel motivated. So Medha is the classic example of it, and I primarily salute to her father. He has done a tremendous role in primarily bringing her here.
Absolutely.
So what will be your words for the students, those who are preparing for civil service?
So one is to never lose hope, because this is a long process, a very long journey, and on each and every step there will be some sort of failures that a student will definitely face. Sir, even in the beginning, just when I started my coaching, the first test I gave, I got 34 marks in Vajiram test.
Yes.
So that day also I blabbered on the phone to my father, see, these people are giving such difficult tests, what to do? So one is to have such a kind of person whom you can share your experiences with. Else this thing becomes very disastrous and monstrous, because it eats some part of you. It is always consuming you in some ways or the other.
Yes.
And after that, just give it your best and not to worry too much about the consequences, because sometimes what happens is we worry too much about the consequences and just don't focus on the things which are the low hanging fruits. So read the newspaper daily, complete the syllabus, get conceptual clarity of everything that we are reading. And I think, sir, in my 5 attempts, this is one takeaway which I have, is that understand everything really well. Try not to memorize facts, but to get an understanding of it, be it any subject.
Yes.
Even for sociology, if we are reading something in GS, there'll be examples which I can use in either of the ways. So, for example, in PM Awas Yojana, that is in GS.
Yes.
But you told us that the tribes, they don't want to live in multi-storied buildings.
True.
So, if you give them those, they won't like it and they would just
Abandon it.
Correct. So, sir, that's what I used in PM Awas, that this is one of the factors that we need to keep in mind while making a policy.
Yes.
You need to take care of the socio-economic conditions and the beliefs of the people.
Yes.
So similarly, you gave another example where there was something that the tribes like to live within the trees.
Under the shade of the tree.
Under the shade of the tree. So once they were moved to urban spaces, they just abandoned it.
Yes.
So these can be very well used at other places as well. So my understanding and what I took from these 5 years is not to focus on too many things, but use small things at diversified places.
Yes.
Use the same content at different places to your benefit.
See, Medha, you are an wonderful example, See, all of you should be taking the note of what she's saying. Many things happen around you about which you have sufficient knowledge. You must have to have a kind of right intellect, sharp mind to use them in diverse areas. Because your answer should be unique, it should be exclusive, it should be out of the box. An examiner will feel that it is a treat for him. And that you can do when you know things, feel it, internalize it, and use it in diverse ways. So that is the beauty. Tell me your entire success story. So how it is going to influence to next generation next, or these people, those who are preparing for UPSC. Your entire success story.
Yes.
So how it will be influencing to the people, those who are watching you?
So one is to all the female candidates. I would like to tell them that financial independence is one thing that they need to look out for. And be it through this examination or any, I would always tell them that you need to be financially independent. Because that is one way you can just take away all the suppression that is coming your way. And I'll give them an example, since I've already been working in railways. I can spend my salary as I like.
Yes.
And even despite my parents not liking all the online orders, I still order online and get a lot of packages. And I can do it because I'm earning.
Right.
Had I not been earning, this would have been a problem, because then a person can always say, see, this is my money, so you can't spend it like this, and I would not like it that ways. So one is this, and second is don't lose hope. It was a long journey for me. I graduated in 2017, sir, and after that I've been preparing. But then I'm fortunate, I'm grateful to God that the journey ended well.
Yes.
For some people it might not, and they need not lose hope.
Yes.
And sometimes this examination becomes bigger than life.
Yes.
And it takes a toll on people. People think they're useless and not worth anything. So I would always suggest them that you are an asset to the society.
Yes.
People who have studied well for this examination can never be a liability,
Yes, very
either
true.
to their parents
Very
or
true.
the nation.
So, what she's telling is, enjoy the entire process. Result is not in your hand. So many factors attribute to result. Same student, writing same kind of answers, getting IRTS, next attempt she is polishing her knowledge, doing something new, getting this rank, becoming the topper of the subject. So therefore you never know what is destined for you. So always enjoy the entire process. The knowledge you gather during your process of preparation, so will be primarily, giving you benefits in different fronts of life. And that knowledge, when you encash, maybe an engineer or a social worker, whatever you may be doing, you'll be excelling in that particular field. So therefore keep that in mind, that your effort will never go waste.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to tell the students?
So just to take this exam as it is, as you already mentioned, that this knowledge never goes waste. And I was telling Ravindram sir also that, sir, it is because of you now I know the law of the land, how systems work, how economies work. I did not know floating exchange rate, and there's so many types of exchange rates. But this exam taught me how to start investing in market, how to know that how the pensions are being given, the pay commissions that are coming. So these are the things that we should know. I was telling one of my friends, we know the names of the scams that are happening. So we will never get scammed because we know the technical terms of those scams. Oh, this is phishing, this is this. So this will make us a better person, no matter what the end is. But definitely it helps us in getting a good personality, sir.
Medha, I'll be putting an end note by saying, the role of a teacher is to hold the hand of the students when they're about to fall and make them stand.
Absolutely, sir.
And when they stand, they have to live their life, they have to enjoy their life. And their success we should not be sharing. So I'm very much thankful to you that you came back and appreciated little bit what we have done. As I told you before, so you and your friends, they make us feel younger. Me and Ravindran Saab, we are too old and you make us young. Thank you so much. Lots of blessings. God bless you and be a very good officer. Make meaningful contribution to the society.
Sure, sir. I'll try to do my best, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you.